And boom! There we go. Hey, everybody. Hey, I'm the.
Hey.
I'm acting like is it the doctor on The Simpsons? Hey, everybody.
Dr. Nick.
Dr. Nick.
Yeah, Dr.
Oh,
Nick.
hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hi, Dr. Nick. I'm Dr. Nick Riviera.
I love it. You know what we're going for.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Welcome into the Punk Rock Saves Lives PMA session for 2/17/21. My birthday week. Woo!
Woo!
Sunday is my birthday. If you were paying attention to our socials today, we decided to celebrate my getting a year older this Sunday. So right now to Monday, if you order any merch on our website, use the code RobIsOld. Rob is old. And you will get 20% off anything you'd like.
Percent because that's how old Rob wishes he was.
What, 20? Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I was 20 again. I wish I was sneaking drinks in a bar. No, but that would have been those are fun times. But instead, I'll drink iced tea or tea out of a glass. I tend not to put ice in things. And considering how cold it is here, and how cold it is around the country for a lot of people. Yes.
I'm sorry. Somebody knocked at my door. I'm sorry. Oh, I know. You're so ferocious. Eddie, quiet. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
It happens.
Every week.
It happens every week. Yeah.
Eddie.
People
Oh,
can
shush.
mark that spot off their PRSL bingo card.
Just a part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just a part of it. Shush. It's okay. She's she's clearly the most ferocious thing to protect our household, to protect our gate,
I mean,
our
someone's got to do it.
gatekeeper.
Might
I
as
know.
well.
Oh man, do her barks pierce. But anyways,
I love
she's
it.
just gonna balk for a little bit like a chicken.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. As you can see, Dan threw that code comments. As usual, everybody, it's cold in Denver. COVID rates have dropped. People are getting vaccinated. But it also could be how cold it is. We don't know. But they did open up to 50% capacity on restaurants and stuff here. Yes. I love it.
She says
You're talking
too
to
high.
the fart sound machine.
Oh, man.
You hear this?
She is not happy about that person knocking at your door.
She is just like, no, who is at my door? They better have a mask. They better be vaccinated and or have a mask. This is my house.
Tina's kind of moving around behind me there. There she is. But I was like, look, I was a metronome for a second. No,
Is that what I think we're all delirious?
Yep. It's so cold and we're so stuck in the houses that everybody's a little delirious. Well, I don't think it's cold. It's probably pretty cold in Chicago right now. How's things over there?
It's 16 degrees. Yesterday, most things were closed down. Sip of Hope coffee shop for Hope for the Day closed. There's been it was quite chilly. I will not lie. Most stayed in, and I will follow.
Did you say it's 16 degrees?
16. It's been staying in kind of the negatives, but like 2 or 3. So I mean, with early shifts in the morning, I'm getting outside at 4 degrees.
The bad part of it.
Yeah.
Right. Those negatives that we've had. My little Honda Element, like it stresses to start, and then when I go to lock it, it goes. The horn is so cold, it goes instead of it's weird. It's like it kind of like it suffers through it a little, but and here's the fun part, guys. Unfortunately, I don't know if you saw the news, but Tina's car was stolen in front of our house Monday night, and they did find it. Our insurance, they found it and it's in an impound lot in a neighboring city, and so our insurance is going to grab it and see what it's going to cost to fix, obviously.
Jeez.
But so she's driving my car to work, and I'm driving Salty Camper to work. So I drove the RV across town to work this morning. That was a lot of fun.
At least Salty Camper's getting some love, though.
Yeah, she needed some running anyway, so that's great.
Yeah.
And Mackenzie, how's things in Albuquerque? I know it's cold there too.
Yeah, it's been cold. It's been snowy. We were out of the thick of the coldness, which is good. We did reopen indoor dining right before it got really cold, so that really helped with work. But just other than that, same old. Cases have dropped a lot, which is awesome. I hope they aren't going to spike after Valentine's Day, but we shall see.
Yep, it's all up in the air right now. We're gonna figure it all out.
Chris.
And yeah, Dally is in.
Hi, Chris.
Lynn, so
Hi, Dally man.
And apparently to Dally, Dan is chopped liver. I'm sorry.
I've never met him. I can't blame him.
Whoa.
I'm just picking on Dally. And speaking of that, since Dally popped up there, I do want to congratulate Authority Zero on their new guitar player today. The young man from Poor Habit joined the band totally, and
Eric is an old friend of mine as well. Awesome dude.
I have heard him shred on an Authority Zero song. I didn't hint that might be the song that'll be on our album, but hey,
you didn't until you did that.
Well, we finally announced the entire lineup.
That's true.
Lynn, we never heard from Fat on you guys, so we're going to put you on volume 2. But we're going to do it.
I'd like to.
We're going to keep bugging them. But
okay, as you should.
Only. I think it'd be super fun.
Ooh, a ladies only one.
Yeah, I did. I said that to Tina earlier today. I said maybe we should do the second one or the third one all women, and it would be just rad. So, so that's awesome. And last but not least, I bet it's a lot warmer in the Long Beach area.
What are you talking about? It's freezing here. No, I'm kidding. It's so cold. It's freaking 62 degrees right now. Look, it's a little. I mean, it's chilly, but I'm from the East Coast, so it's like I have no real room to complain. I don't have to worry about scraping my windshield or bringing black ice or wind chill or lake effect snow. I don't have to worry about any of that. I have to worry about just, it's a little chilly and the marine layer is making it foggy for a bit. But for the most part, though, like they've been really good with everything here as far as like I'm gonna put this little bat dog down for a minute because she's getting restless. As far as like reopening everything, they haven't allowed indoor dining, which I'm cool with. I'm still like, I won't go anywhere that has indoor dining. Or at least like, let me rephrase that. I won't go anywhere that won't provide outdoor dining.
That's fair.
Unless it's takeout. I'll do takeout, it's not a problem. But yeah, like, I know that there was one place in Long Beach, and you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna call them out. They're horrible. Restoration. Screw that restaurant for trying to like, just go behind everyone's back and like, didn't care, blatantly disregarding any of the restrictions, like try to throw a New Year's party, got caught for it, tried to steal gas from their neighbor with a makeshift pipeline that could have blown up a city block. Like, I can't even. So, so support anybody else but them if you're coming to Long Beach. Because she was trying to be like, my employees need to make, they're going crazy without working. You're putting them at risk. Mm-hmm. You're putting them at risk. You're not paying them any hazard pay whatsoever. You don't care about them. You care about making a profit.
Yeah.
None of us want to do this, but you know what? We got to. Like, there's no going around it. And if you want to blatantly defy what needs to be done in order to move forward, then you know what? You don't get my sympathy when you contract it.
There was in a smaller city in New Mexico, I had a I have some friends who live down in Roswell, and they said that there was a liquor store that was running a speakeasy out the back. And in order to get in, you have to remove your mask to prove that you weren't a cop. Like, no masks allowed, speakeasy.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
So, like, bars still aren't open here at all.
Gross.
Like, you have to serve food, and we just opened indoor dining at like 25%.
Okay.
Yeah, so just no bars whatsoever. And so now you've got this whole thing, like, no masks allowed. It's like, God damn it. I'm like, we would be so far through this right now if people would just accept it.
I mean,
seriously.
Look at our New Zealand and Australian friends. They have concerts now already.
I have a friend in Australia who their cases in her state spiked to, they got like 13 cases in one day, like a week ago, and went back on lockdown.
Yeah.
And they're reopened now, but I'm like, 13 cases. Can you fathom that? Like, we shut down with 6 cases originally, but like, it's just insane. I'm like, oh yes. And then, New Mexico, we're down to 1,000 cases a day or 500 cases a day. So we're going to start opening up. But like other states or other countries was like, at 13, we're closing down.
Yep. I know Chris and Scott and the Living End guys have gotten to play a couple of really big shows the last few weeks. And that shows you where if we take this serious, maybe we would all be returning to life. And
on that note, Punk Rock Bowling did just announce their lineup.
And they're very enthusiastic about it.
I've been trying to see Devo for so long, and every time I've like nearly done it, it's like something has happened where I couldn't. So please, everybody, like, I know the people who tune in here are living their best lives and taking this seriously, but all of your friends, you can talk like 10 people into taking it seriously, and they can talk 10 other people into taking it seriously, just so I can see Devo. That would be amazing.
Yeah, just so any of us could see Devo. Jeez, just so any of us could play. Yeah. Like, we want to play.
The rest of everything that comes.
Y'all want to see? We want to play.
Everyone else getting to play too.
A few years ago, Devo did play Punk Rock Bowling, and more than half of the punks lost their ever living minds.
I would have. That was the year
no, they hated it. They were like, Devo's not punk. And I'm like, what? But there's been a mixed reaction over the last day and a half, too. I've been watching people absolutely just slamming Devo. And I've seen people, but then I've also seen us going, Devo. So what I didn't get to do, guys, because we just jumped into it, we're so honored to have Miss Lynn Lee right there.
Oh.
If you don't know,
my dog made the introduction. You don't have to worry about it.
If you don't know, she's the bassist of Bad Cop, Bad Cop. She's also the focus of one of the awesome shirts that Gabby Chaos and Chaos Merch did, Bassist versus Racist. And there's an awesome picture of Lynn jumping in the air. And it's awesome. So please check those out. Lynn is in Long Beach. We got that already, and she's mad at restoration, which we are too. And but other than that, Lynn, how's are you guys like? How's Bad Cop, Bad Cop? Are we practicing? Or are we riding across the line? Or what are we doing?
Honestly, we haven't really gotten to. We had another stay-at-home order happen like right before Christmas. We were practicing like once a week and maintaining, because we were like, the only people we saw in our bubble. So we were like, okay, in order for us to practice, we need to make sure we're, boop. But then when the shutdown happened, we had it. I mean, the ICU, something broke.
Yeah. Tina opened the door and something fell over here.
You all right?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. All right. We
crazy.
We babysit dogs, and one of them's getting up right now. So that's why our dog is crazy. So.
All the babies, all the fur babies. But anyway, we haven't actually practiced since before the stay-at-home order because ICU capacity was at 0%. Like, even if we were practicing in the safest way possible, I would, it just the idea of people going through, like the hospital workers going through is, ICU, being overwhelmed at the hospitals And like, all because I think I'm being safe about it. And like, there could be a slip up there somewhere and you don't even realize it, you know? Then where would it go then, you know? And so anyways, we do keep in touch. We keep in touch, every few days at least, whether it's funny memes, a gif off. But yeah, it's not even we're also family too. So we like to check up on each other. And the first time I had seen the girls, we went on a stroll at the, it was the Botanical Gardens in Palos Verdes, Southgate Botanical Gardens. And it's outdoors, you had to wear your mask the entire time. That was like a safe environment to be able to see them, So we did that a few weeks ago. But I think I've been having some little creative juices flowing in my brain. I know we all know Jenny has. I mean, God, like from everything from her sculpting to her cakes to her to just all of her artwork, like anything.
Yeah,
especially her cakes. I mean, her cakes.
I don't know if y'all just saw that. Tina was lifting. We just got our Misfit box in, which the Misfit produce. Tina was like muscling it up behind us. I was like, "What's going?" She didn't throw it.
Tina's yoked.
Yep, Tina's yoked.
Tina's swole. She looking that up like, I got this.
But now I'm excited to see what vegetables we got. So.
Ooh, that's always exciting. I love subscriptions like that.
It's been the coolest one because it just gives us a bunch of vegetables that we can make with other stuff. And
yeah.
That's just, it seems to be one of the hardest things for, we're both constantly going. And so when we do cooking and stuff, it's tough to keep fresh veggies at the house. And it's also tough to stop at the store on the way home. Sure. So now we have fresh veggies. We just mix
veggies I've noticed are like the hardest.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to drink at least a green juice every day just to make sure. But I notice the more intentional I am with how I'm eating, I notice when I'm like, God, have I eaten something that is a vegetable today? It's so easy to stick to starches or whatever. But
someone just said it would be awesome if there was a punk rock subscription box, and there probably is. There's
a ska one. I know that.
No. And there's a ska box. I've seen that, and. There's a few other things.
Different record companies have their record deals and all that. But
AF Records, Anti-Flags label has a subscription service.
Yeah.
All I need is patches, stickers, and pins, and I'd be set.
I'm sure Fat does too. Probably.
That's a good idea, though.
They had a single.
We should do a patches, stickers, and pins subscription box.
There you go. We did it again. We came up with our next sticker. No, I'm just kidding.
I'd like to also note on the Basis Against Racist line, I'd like to thank Paul Smith from Zombie Teeth Clothing, who has so incredibly kindly volunteered his time and his fucking sorry, I keep I'm a swear.
It's okay.
all of his talent, and he creates all the designs. So, and then also, I'm gonna send over this link here.
I think Miguel. It seems like you've got one, Miguel Chen. From
Teenage Bottle Rocket. Gabby from the Venomous Pinks, and Bungle Preacher as well from Barstool Preachers and Intruder Purple. Yay. And we've got so many more coming. I'm so excited. So excited. But also, you could purchase this shirt if you are our friends overseas that don't want to pay exorbitant shipping costs from the U.S. You could go to T-Mom's merch, our wonderful T-Mom merch mother from Germany, Ines Battle, and you could purchase the Bases Against Racist shirts from her as well. And she works with a printer that uses sustainable materials. So cool. There's that too.
Awesome.
That's something I want to dig deeper into eventually having some hemp.
Sure.
Hemp or sustainable products. That'll be rad. So, do you y'all were set for a big tour right when we hit, right? Was it Europe or was it?
Yeah, we were on it. We were on it for a couple weeks, and then
Dang.
we just saw it with
Y'all kind of almost got stuck. That's what.
yeah.
It feels so long ago.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't, I mean, it's so crazy. I was just thinking this because I had to go to my office yesterday to pick up a second computer monitor for work for my new position. And because I didn't need one before, now I do. And I drove in.
You look like
and
a
I'm like,
gamer.
yeah, I know. I'm all like,
multiple screens.
you just hear like, but it dawned on me that yesterday was like exactly a year since I had been back to the office.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
I mean, I saw a couple familiar faces that still have to go in the office and stuff, and they're like, oh my God, we haven't seen you in a year. And I'm like, yeah, that's crazy.
Dang.
But yeah, we were on tour with Make War in Europe. And by the way, those guys, what angels those guys are.
Love that band. They're
like
fantastic guys too. So
oh, wonderful humans. And like honestly, given the situation that happened, there couldn't have been a better band to have to go through that with, because it was about working together and making sure we all got home. It wasn't about like, oh, they need to worry about themselves, we don't need to worry about them. We're like, no. We need to work together. This is like a completely different situation. Shows are getting canceled on the daily, and like we're finding out about border closures, and we're like, okay, all right, we can still, we're trying to weigh out all of our options. And it finally just got to the point where our booking agents was like, you got to go home. we got to call it. We got to call it on the tour. There's like, we need to make sure you guys can get your asses home safely. So, and yeah, we didn't actually know if we would. I mean, of course, we're like, we'll figure it out if it happens. But try not to think about, oh my God, what if we can't get home, or what if they're going to quarantine us in a separate building for 14 days? And then it was just about, let's just get there. Let's just see what happens. And then we'll have to just go from there. That's all we could do. But
yeah, I had my friend's parents were on a cruise ship during everything shutting down, and ended up being stuck in quarantine on that ship for an extra like 3 weeks almost.
Oh my God.
Because it was like the beginning of March and nobody really knew what to do with them. So they're just like in the marina. I was on this ship with like no food service really. Like, people would drop off food at their door every day, but that was like it. Just like, and that's when, when the world was like, we don't know what's going on. And all of a sudden my parents are like, we can't come home. And they're like 70, that's because cruises are like the thing that you do. And, it was terrifying. But yeah, it's the thing is that whole time was just, you can do one step, one day at a time, figure it out. Nothing will work out in the end, but.
Yeah, pretty much. It was unfortunate, but like,
I was in Rochester, New York on my way to meet. I'm
from there.
I know.
No way.
I was sleeping in the camper in Billy from 1916's driveway when I got the call from Anti-Flag that they were pulling the plug and going home. And I was meeting them. I was meeting them the next day for a month of tour. But so I turned around and drove back to Denver.
Yeah, you were in Rochester for like what, 12 hours maybe?
No, I got there the night before. I was going to power on through, but Billy, I gave him a text and he said to stop by his house, and I ended up staying when they canceled the shows. Billy and them had a show, and Rochester hadn't decided to shut yet, and they took me to this Irish bar that Billy's father-in-law was from Ireland, and that was their hangout, an actual Irish pub there. And the name escapes me, so I'm sorry, but like I've joked before, is one of my tour lives is somehow I stumble into a real Irish bar somehow in every city we go to, and I ended up in a rad Irish bar in Rochester, New York, on the last possible night that I could see a live show, and I got to, if all the memes saying who would you be stuck with if it was the last band, I would be stuck with 1916. So I'm okay with that. And we would have had some fun. We would have drank some whiskey. And there's a good comment here. There we go.
Oh, hi, Nick.
And Nick is also Lynn. Lynn is now, and we announced it the same day. Lynn and Nick are on our advisory committee. Nick owns Brixton Barbers here in Denver, and it's or outside of Denver, and it's a punk rock barbershop, and it's really rad. So that's really cool to see that. So
Lost Lake is such a fun venue too.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's tiny and fun, and they make good drinks. And
my favorite Lynn story ever. It was Warped Tour. I think it was in Las Cruces.
Favorite Lynn stories.
Yeah, favorite Lynn stories. It was in Las Cruces, and I was watching Sick of It All, and you came up to with Sick of It All, and I was like, I think I was crying.
My God.
I was like the weird chick, like on the edge of the mosh pit, just like not even like tears, just like this is so epic.
My God.
That was the famous pickle shot night too.
Yep.
Same night.
Yeah, that's right.
That was.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, that was like a dream come true. I was like, oh my God, because I loved Sick of It All for so long. And then like when we found out we were sharing the stage with them at Warped Tour, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, I probably would have had the same reaction.
That was, I have to say it too. That whole tour, Lynn and we were all there together, and we got to spend a ton of time together, but it was usually watching either Anti-Flag or Sick of It All. Every day, if I could get away from the booth, I was there and luckily Bad Cop let me introduce them for about half of the tour, and we got to tell people about the Marrow Registry and all of that. And they even came to the booth and did we called
the pickle shots.
Well, celebrity swabbers, and y'all came and helped me that day, and
That's right. We'd ask people.
Can you believe that we used to put our hands essentially in other people's mouths?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we did a lot of gross things. People do like not knowingly gross things. You think back, you're like, oh, I would have done what?
Yeah. But like we'd swab hundreds of people a day.
Yep.
Like, this is
but I tried to teach everybody how to do it without touching anything, but it was
true. But like you think about like the breathing on the hand is like being right there. I'm like, it's just weird. Never gonna feel the same way about it ever again. I hope I get to do it again someday. But.
There's Clinton from United Defiance saying he met us the same day. There you go. Yeah. So
thank you for getting swabbed.
Yeah.
And he's become a big part of
Hey, there's my buddy Paul.
Yep. Look at that. Everybody's chiming in. I love it. It's
Paul Smith, everybody, of Zombie Teeth, the wonderful human that has designed all of the Basis Against Racist shirts, by the way.
That's rad.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so excited so excited.
I'm gonna eventually go broke on all those shirts.
Well, I mean, sorry, I'm just laughing so hard that I'm choking on my own saliva. I swear. No, it was crazy. Like we just I was thinking, especially like during all the protests going on after George Floyd, that whole wave, right? Mm-hmm. And it was like just on the back of my mind, just like, what can I do? What can I do? That'll like I'm not comfortable going out in public in large groups of people. Though I did my partner and I did participate in one of the BLM protests in Long Beach. We did it, and then we were like, okay, there's way too many people. And everybody was wearing a mask, but I was still like, it got too dense. So, not normal circumstances, but we bounced. But no, I was thinking of other ways, and like, okay, I have a platform I can use, but I don't want this. I don't want it, I want to figure out a way where I can, okay, I'm a bass player. I can promote other bassists. We're the butt of every freaking joke anyways. It's like, hey, I'm the bass player. Like, it's literally like the bass player is literally, it's, oh my God, it's the bass player every time. But like, not only to promote other bass players, but also, ones that stand in solidarity for the same thing. Okay, that want to also contribute. They're using them, themselves as a way. Like we're selling these shirts, and 100% of the proceeds goes towards it's just a continuous way to support Black Lives Matter or any anti-racism charity. So
and
thank
the numbers Gabby has been putting up are incredible. I mean, I know she's been donating money, and it's been incredible. Yeah. So
I think it's such a great idea too, because then it's not just you working with your own fan base to put for something. It's then you have Mass Intruders fan base, and you have this fan base of all of these people, and you're just going to keep growing that with you're essentially putting your platforms together as bassists. And
this has nothing to do with me as a person. I just like to be, I'm a part of it, but this is not about me. This is about the awareness. This is about featuring a fellow musician, a fellow artist, and their band or whatever affiliation that they're with. It could be a studio musician. Let's promote that. Trying to, and also continuously, now here's a way we can, support these organizations that need our fucking support.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
And that's what we've been trying to build with this, and why we have you guys on the advisory committee is when touring and everything returns, and we can get out there and like tour with a band. Say I'm out with you guys, Lynn, and I'm tabling every night. I'm going to tailor something and represent something that's important to you guys. And then we open that up, and with the advisory committee, I can put out there, hey, what's everybody feeling? What do we want to put to the forefront of this tour? And we can raise consciousness across the board, and I can always reach out for opinions. And look, Dan Claire just popped up. Look at that.
Hey, Claire. Going back to summer camp.
Summer camp festival, yes.
Aww.
So Claire's one of the fantastic volunteers from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and as always.
Ooh, I hope you're safe with the snow out there. There was like 100-car pileup or some shit that happened not too long ago. You guys be safe in Texas. I know you guys are getting slammed with the snow and are not used to it. So
that, and a lot of Texas doesn't have water right now is the last thing I
heard.
They're losing
out of power and shit. Like, I hope you guys are safe. Like,
I've been trying to watch all my friends down there, and I can't believe how many people I know in Texas. And I checked.
What's a big place?
Well, I obviously checked on April immediately, because there she is. She's on the and number one, she's one of my favorite people in the world. Number two, she's my drummer. Woo!
April.
She's only in like 20 bands, but
love you. Yeah, she is.
At least
only 20.
At least she's in one with me, so that's rad.
Can it really be considered a punk band if April's not in it?
I don't know. That's a good question. If April's not in your band, are you a punk band? That's a shirt. There's April's sticker. We came up with another one. So
we could do the entire Punk Rock Saves Lives volume or album just with bands that April's been in.
That's true.
April and Daly.
April and Dallas.
Yeah, April and Ellie. Oh my God.
drummers-
That's gonna have to be
Between them,
that's
they've
gonna have
been
to
in
be- that's
every
gonna have to
punk
be a
band.
2-disc. That's a double record.
April just said drummers against bummers.
You should get that on a shirt, April.
Yep.
And raise money for charity and get a bunch of drummers for that shit.
But I've got friends in Dallas. Punk rock chef Justin Box has been posting a lot about trying to help a lot of the homeless during this in the Dallas area, and that's talk good human. Where his first thought is, "What can I do to help some other people during this?" And that's pretty right.
Yeah.
Everybody down there is suffering. I mean, they're not, number one, they don't get weather. Colorado, we get that weather, and we've done it for so long. Literally, not most of us. It's in the 11 years I've lived here, I think there's been 3 days that I woke up and went, nope, not going out today. I've stay, but and April tuned in, and actually I sort of in a weird way met Justin through April, so that's really cool. And Matt's he's there you go. Matt Gray, my best buddy, lives out there in the middle, almost El Paso. He's a teacher out in rural area, and it's even snowing there. So how about that?
Jeez.
Yeah, this is definitely a great time to recognize what it is that you have that you can be grateful for. There's a lot of things that are really hard right now, but there are so many people who are unhoused. And there's a couple street outreach groups here in Albuquerque who've been doing everything they can right before the storms hit. They did emergency, donation drives and all that for blankets, coats, etc. But they're posting pictures of people's tents just being completely filled with snow, and it's just abandoned. And then that tent, that's your protection, and then to have to leave that behind, it's just really, really, really hard out there right now.
Our boy Rich had to pile on. Yeah, they got almost a foot of sunshine in Vegas today. That's our boy.
Yeah, we're sick of hearing that joke from California too.
Oh, and look at this. Dabbles comes in from California. They even had some hail on the beach there. So, and we talked a lot about the bases versus races shirts and all of that. Dabbles and Spar Customs out there in California do amazing work. Do a lot of most of our merch. So check them out too. People doing good stuff. Oh yeah, free cuts at for anybody on tour coming through Denver. You can.
Aww.
Yep, and let me know if you can't get out there, and if I'm home, we'll run a shuttle service if we need to. So that's and I'm not positive. Nick, does Vinny's wife still work for you? I'm gonna wait till he comments, and I'll tell you what that means here in a second. So it's not only Nick; he's got some other amazing barbers and stylist and everything there. It's a rad place. So, but yeah, when we do get back to touring, he does take care of people. So, if we do get a Punk Rock Saves Lives festival going like we were working on before COVID, when this returns, we're going to have either Nick set up. Yep. Okay. I can answer that. I'll finish that one in a second, but, we're going to have Nick come out and either set up out, if he can, out in the crowd with a tent where you could get your cuts, or backstage for all the musicians to get cuts too. So we'll figure that all out. That was in our brains when COVID killed everything. What I was talking about, Vinny, the lead singer, one of the lead singers of the Potato Pirates, his wife is a stylist barber there as well. So there, I was waiting to make sure I didn't, but they did just have their second child. So that's pretty, I don't know if she's there every day, but congratulations to them. That's awesome. More punk rock babies. Carry on the legacy. Now, be honest, will all the punk rock parents where their kids end up liking like K-pop or something different? I mean, as far from punk as possible. It's just a silly question, but you never know. Matter of fact, I heard a whole NPR thing on K-pop the other day. I didn't really know that a lot about it. It was
They're like, I don't listen to the music, but like they've done a lot as far as like they completely blocked out I forget which hashtag, but it was affiliated with, something on the alt-right and like completely oh my God, it's so cool. I'm like, good for you. Use that.
It wasn't it what's TikTokers and K-pop fans are the ones that bought all the tickets to the Donald Trump rally.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, they were encouraging them to buy them, like buy all the tickets.
There's some
Or just
serious
get all of
like
them.
solidarity in like K-pop that
Yeah.
I think used to be very punk specific, but it's been awesome to watch that like that excitement over anything or that sort of unification just from music kind of happen in a genre outside of what we know.
Speaking of bassists, we had Shiflet on last week, and he would he needs one of the shirts. Y'all should work with that. So that's a good idea. But there's
that's a look.
It's
that's
funny. It's funny how many people are saying their kids love K-pop in the comments. It's like it's going on and on and on.
Hey, love K-pop. Like whatever you want, as long as it's not that Toby Keith shit. Don't like anything that's racist or that
bullshit. I read something recently that Toby Keith is actually apparently a closet Democrat and just will never tell his fans that he votes Democrat.
Huh.
Yeah, so I have a friend who works in like country music, and I think Austin Lucas actually posted it, and he's like, "I hope you all know that Toby Keith votes Democrat or some shit like that."
Is it like a mask? Like he's like, "Oh, I'm this right wing, blah 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 blah." Oh, you know who I'm thinking of? Fuck Tech Nugent. Fuck that guy. that guy. But you know what? I gotta tell you.
Real one. But yeah, apparently a lot of them are just right.
If Toby Keith. Toby Keith is literally like a freaking, if he's using his like fucking image and whatever to fool these assholes,
they do it all to make money.
Awesome.
They're playing on the same like political spectrum to make money off of like that demographic of people. And that's sort of what this guy was saying was just like, if only all of you country fans who tell me to keep my politics out of music knew who the people you look up to are voting for.
I don't know.
Capitalizing on like inspiring fascism still isn't cool.
It still isn't cool.
Definitely.
But if it's just to install some hope on life, I suppose maybe he uses that and like donates it all to progressive chair. What can only hope, but right? That might be stretching it.
Hope is an illusion, Lynn, and I think that's probably
it's an illusion, Michael. It's an illusion. No, but you know what's funny? Speaking of music that you would not normally think people would listen to, and I've been posting about this as of late. RuPaul puts out a mean playlist, by the way.
Actually, yeah,
I encourage.
I've into that.
I encourage. Like, it's gotten me to the point where, like, because I go walking every morning, but like now I'm just like I'm walking and I don't like. It's early enough that nobody's really out, but I'm just like, all right, I don't care. Don't be jealous of my boogie, and I'm all like walking down the street of Long Beach, like.
I do that too. I used to do that in like the middle of the night. I used to like take like walks at like 1 a.m, and I just like walk through the middle of the streets in my neighborhoods, just like dancing around, listening to what.
Oh yeah, Shakira, it's the greatest.
I just picture Lynn. I know how enthusiastic and what a great human are. That's just the way you live life.
I love it. So I've informed the residents of Long Beach. If you see it, make sure you hashtag LBC Boogie Bitch.
Love it. It's unbelievable. It's just I can't tell you. There are days on Warped Tour and other tours that we've done together where life just stresses you down and you're all kind of worked up. And I look over and then there's Lynn just going crazy on stage, and I'm like, hey, the world's all right. All right. The world's just
If-
fun. You know?
Best spirit.
if you can get other bands to do the Carlson on stage, you've done your job.
Yes, you have.
It's definitely something you are the queen of being completely unapologetic with that kind of stuff, and it's so awesome to see every single time. It's just the most fun. It's intoxicating and it's very.
Let's take a
Have a good night, Paul.
Paul, thank you and happy birthday, buddy. Mine's
Happy birthday,
Sunday.
man.
Happy
Thank you for asking.
birthday.
And Paul, we'll talk to you about when and if we can do a merch line with our buddies and enemy want to do some merch for us overseas too. But we'll talk to you about some stuff over there too to save people some shipping. We'll figure it out. But that's right. It'll be cool. Every time I've sent somebody something to the UK, it's never cheaper than $20. Never. So I hate charging people $20 for a $20 t-shirt or something.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it all out. It's cool. Happy birthday. That's awesome. And everybody's wishing him happy birthday. That's pretty rad. And
He
music.
is loved.
There you go. That one's it. Yes to the Carlton. Yes.
Honestly, I think one of my favorite Warped Tour stories was, the band Bless the Fall that was on Warped Tour. So I befriended their guitarist, Elliot.
Elliot's awesome.
Elliot's a great dude.
We stay in touch. He's rad. He was one of the pickle shot guys. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, no, he was, I remembered meeting him at one of the, the barbecues and stuff. Turns out he knows a guy I went to high school with. So that's how we became, we're like, oh, shit, small world. And I remembered him coming over every so often to watch us play, which was really nice. Like anytime I could see so I recognized somebody from another band that would come and watch us play. It was just a nice feeling, they actually cared enough to come see us play. We're interested enough in checking us out. So that was one thing about Warped Tour that I really, really enjoyed was there was a lot of that camaraderie between anybody, a lot of the bands between stages and stuff. Mostly our stage was we're the fan band. We're here.
It was.
But you had a good stage.
Yeah, it was
a good stage. We had a good stage.
I lived at that stage just all day.
And I just remember going to watch Bless the Fall. I was like, oh, I'll go check them out. I haven't seen them yet. And Elliot straight up does a little pirouette. I was like, motherfucker stole my move.
That's awesome.
I'm kidding. Just fucking do it. If it feels good, anybody that's going to give you shit about it, that's their problem, not yours. If you're,
Exactly.
The camaraderie that happened between the two stages that we keep saying our stage, but then the stage beside us with the Fire from the Gods guys. And it was just a great, that whole summer.
We were the hard rock stage. We had it was us with Sick of It All, Municipal Waste, Valiant Thor.
The Ataris.
Valiant Thor.
Love those guys.
The Ataris, Strung Out,
and
the Adolescents.
TSOL ended up on that stage.
Anti-Flag, rest in peace, Steve Soto. TSOL was on it. Dalskin.
Yes, Dalskin. They were.
Jesus Christ, that fucking band.
Yeah, they're crazy. It's amazing how awesome they are, and
they were still in high school.
Yeah, and they're getting, they're only getting better, and it's unreal.
Yeah.
I love that I can say that I met a band that I love's moms when I saw them live. Because their mothers were they're man.
Yeah, their moms, their moms came on tour with them.
Yeah. One of the moms was
awesome.
One of the moms,
or one of the moms.
Well, she was the tour manager, wasn't she?
Yeah. Not real, but the kids are under 18, so they had to have a parental guardian. So I'm buying merch, and I'm talking to the band, oh my god, you guys shred. This is so rad. And and I'm talking to them, and then the mom's get a picture with her, and this whole thing, and it was super cute. It's I can't believe I fell in love with this band and also met their parents.
Yeah, and
awesome.
They exploded, which awesome. Good for you.
Yeah,
they totally deserve it. I don't think they're an actual band anymore. I think two of them left and did their own thing, and the other two are starting a new project. But regardless,
who's that?
Dalskin.
They posted. They still post on Dullskin quite a bit. So
Okay. Well, regardless of what the status is, because I just saw that there was something about a Rat Pack thing. I don't remember, but
I hope not.
but regardless, those gals are incredibly talented, and it's only going to go up from there for
And
them.
they've done so much for like the School of Rock scene out there, because that's where they
Yeah.
came from. So I'm really excited to see what they've inspired to also come out of like this region of like young kids. Should be neat.
Mhm. Yeah.
Nick is saying he hopes Against All Authority would get back together. So there's so many bands we could say that about.
Honestly.
But
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Sorry. Do you hear that?
What was that?
That's the streets of Long Beach.
Oh.
So yeah, we get some traffic noise.
That happens.
Yeah, it's all right.
I can't believe this, but we've already nailed out over 50 minutes. We're just talking and laughing and having a great time. Lynn, what have you been doing to keep busy and keep the positive mental attitude going through this that might could help some other people keep moving forward? What's really helped you through all of this?
Taking the time to, first figure out like what makes you happy, right? Like something that you can do by yourself that would make you happy. For me, Eddie, sorry, my dog is I don't know if you can hear her growling, but she is growling at nothing. So she makes me happy.
I just love how, like, over the speaker, every time your dog growls, it sounds like a
can you hear it?
Or something.
I know, it's not my stomach. It's totally my dog.
I know.
I hate to say it. At first, I thought it was a toilet flushing.
Or me farting. I mean, I'm queen flatulent, so.
Well,
your bandmates
just steer into the skid, or
always
blame it on your dog.
Yeah, well, we used to have a pin of me like jumping in the air. It was like a photo that was used from a Riot Fest, and the fart clouds underneath my ass spelled out bad cop, bad cop.
Oh yeah, I love that.
You need to bring that back.
Can I tell you a quick, funny bad cop story without you weren't there? But do you remember my little camper before it got destroyed? And I had then I got the bigger one. But
not really. I'm sorry.
The little camper had the donut bad cop sticker right on the back, really, really prominent. And I stopped by my parents' house in Savannah, Georgia, and my mom immediately went, "What's that mean?" And I was like, immediately. And I was like, "Mom, an amazing all-female punk band that are full of strong women that are just rock." And she was like, "Okay."
And also 1312. Sorry.
Oh my God.
The Simpsons donut. That's what I like to call it.
No, I think like one of our first shows I think it was like the first show since we got signed to that, if I remember correctly, was with Me First and the Gimme Gimmes in LA. And I remembered like my first encounter of LAPD buying our stuff.
Oh wow.
What?
They're like, "This is rad," and I'm like, "Yeah, give us your money."
Take your money, but you don't.
We'll take your money. We'll take your money, but y'all need to be defunded. y'all need to have that money dispersed, allocated at other places, like towards other important things.
Did you see that? It might
your taxes paid their wages, so you're just getting.
It's just giving back.
Yeah,
it was either tonight or tomorrow. If you do listen to any NPR, there's a story about how Denver, it's going to be on the national NPR, but Denver has started to replace 911 domestic violence calls instead of the cops going. Basically, social workers go. And
that's great.
There's a story about it. I think it's tomorrow morning. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But look up NPR's website, and I'm sure you can find it. But it was a pilot program here, and they're talking about how it's actually working, and I think that's what we need. And when it comes to the whole, when it comes to the cops thing, even if they could train them better and into situations like that. Right now, they're never taught any of that, and it turns violent because.
Well,
Yeah.
in order to do that stuff, you kind of need a degree. Like the amount of school my therapist went through is a lot.
You would think it would be a little bit more than just a few months or whatever, however long of training. Like, I would think you would have to have a degree in criminal justice, at least, an associate's, maybe, like
an associate's in like criminology, and then maybe at least a bachelor's in psychology. I think would be great.
Lynn, there's a question from Nick. If you want to broach, how did the name come about?
I'm not the best person to ask because I'm not the original member of the band. I actually felt the original bass player of Bad Cop is Jen Carlson, who, by the way, you want to talk about jack of all trades. This woman literally plays every fucking instrument that I could think of. And she rides motorcycles. She's a badass. And I believe she came up with the name, but I don't want to like not say the right story. So that might have to be a Stacy, Myra, or Jenny question.
Before I'll blow the secret now. March 3rd, we're having another one of our badass women up. Actually, the next 3 weeks, starting with you, are the PMA sessions are all about badass, strong punk rock women. But our guest next week can't come on, so I'm going to be shopping for a new guest this week. But the following week, and it came about after we had already asked you to be on this one, but we are going to have our second annual women's roundtable, basically. And I drop off of it. I come on and tell everybody hello, and then I get out and
I take over.
Yeah.
We kick him out. I take over. It's like a ladies' night.
You're welcome. Hey.
Bring
out the wine.
Mackenzie and our dear friend Ruby Riott from the WWE. If you've not seen, she's the punk rock wrestler. She's incredible. Yep.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Yeah. Actually,
amazing.
Yeah, and she's incredibly inspiring and just lives her life and does it she did it her way. She took her name obviously from Rancid and a Rancid song, but she put 2 T's in it, so it's Ruby Riott. And her real I won't say her real name, but Ruby is just awesome, and it's going to be the Ruby Riott Badass Women of Punk Rock Night. Mackenzie, Ruby, and Stacy D are the official guests at the moment. We're trying everything we can to try to get Laura Jane Grace involved, but we haven't.
I was just going to say, have you tried LJG?
We believe it or not, I'm trying every angle possible. We've tweeted her. I've emailed her publicist, all sorts of stuff. She's fantastic to me. She's been nice as can be to me everywhere, but I don't have a personal contact to her. So if anybody out there does, we would love her to join us on one of these. If someone knows her, please tell her that this is a cool, easy, open forum, and we want to celebrate everything women. Or everything woman, excuse me, and our women. That's celebrate it all. So if you do, please have them email rob@punkrocksaveslabs.org or whatever. You can get Dan, you can get Mackenzie. Let us know. We'd love to have it. And we're working on a few other guests. And so, Nick, what I'm being told is Twitter's the thing, but I guess.
Are you kidding me? Stop it.
Oh, maybe it's Snoop.
No, it's some car in my alley just like being a total dickhole. Sorry.
Happens.
Sorry.
We're gonna keep trying, but the last one was Mackenzie, Ruby, April,
Gabby Chaos,
April, and there were a couple. Kristen and
Oh.
Mabel syndrome.
Mhm.
Jessica?
No, the Sarah.
Yeah,
Sarah.
I was like,
Sarah.
I think her Instagram name. But I
Red
can't-
hair, Sarah.
Yep, redhead.
Yes.
Sarah. She
Shred
I
Betty.
knew her when she lived in Denver, and then she moved all over the place now. And
Yeah.
so
She
she's
be moving.
she's fantastic. I love the Mabel syndrome and everything about them, and then there's also obviously the Riot Squad Media and the Allegedly Records and all of these punk rock women just going out there and doing really rad stuff. So it's really cool to see.
I would also encourage the brand new Girls Like Us
Mhm.
And that
podcast with Kanan and Raven.
it's
by
like
the
the
way.
it's
Yeah.
like the GRRR.
Yeah, it's girl.
Girls Like Us.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was actually gonna suggest that. I've been listening
Just
to podcasts.
picture RuPaul saying it, girl like us. By the way, during those boogie dances, I thank God I have a mask on because nobody can see what's going on underneath there. But I'm just like lip syncing with my mouth, just like, don't be jealous, like just giving zero shits.
Oh, I've
It's
been
fun.
so used to people not being able to see what I'm doing with the bottom half of my face that I don't think I'm gonna be able to not wear a mask in public. Especially like serving tables in a restaurant and just like mouthing the worst things sometimes.
Yeah, what
and
happens?
making the
What
weirdest
happens when
faces.
people can see your facial expressions again?
Yeah, it's not gonna be good.
I mean,
I'm gonna lose my job.
I'll still do the same things. I'd be like, just lip syncing, I mean, I could just be doing this
I love it.
the whole
I
time.
absolutely love it. Well, I think we're over an hour now, so let's start to wrap it up. But I do a couple of things each week to close out, and I didn't tell you, Lynn, so it's going to be a little bit of a but every week I ask not only our co-host but our guests to name an album, music, podcast, book, something, or all of the above, what you've been listening to, what's been blowing your mind up, that's helped you through this pandemic the last few weeks, that could help someone through the next few weeks. So to give you a few seconds to think, we'll start this week with Mackenzie. Mackenzie, what's been blowing you up this week?
Okay, so I was gonna say that Girls Like Us podcast I've been listening to pretty hard. So that one's great. So I also definitely suggest checking that out. I've also rediscovered Alexis on Fire.
Oh,
because Crisis was a great album and it totally fucks. So if you haven't listened to that record in like 10 years, like I probably hadn't, do it. It's great. It's awesome. It's just, I appreciate it probably more than I ever did. So that's been kind of what's pushing me through, getting me stoked for what was, the roughest restaurant weekend of the year. And it's great.
Yeah, minus what outside while you were waiting on tables outside?
It was supposed to hit like -6 during my shift, but I think it only got down to 1.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Oh darn! Just one.
So we were fine. It was just 1 degree outside and windy, because overhead heaters do fuck all in the wind. But
oh yeah.
Dan, I know you had a quiet week last week.
I did.
What has anything jumped in this week?
I've been listening after having Shiflet on last week. I've been listening to Face to Face's recent release, which is their compilation of just their past rarities and live sessions, because but Devo's on it. They covered Devo.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, it was they really did a solid job with that.
For real, if anybody watching has never listened to Devo outside of Whip It, please just do it. Just do it. You have to do it for me. Anyway, sorry.
Just doing yourself a favor. I mean,
yeah.
The other thing I've been blasting, which it seemed kind of released under the radar in my opinion, is rest in peace Tony Slide, but No Use for a Name's Volume 2 originals.
Yep.
That is some amazing unearthed work.
One of the most amazing prolific songwriters that I miss every day. Yeah. So, but Face to Face, as you were watching last week, are on our coming up LP, and it is. I have to apologize that apologize to Leland because I didn't think it was a live version, but I went back and checked. It is a live version that'll be on there, and it's really rad. So it's
Can't
really
argue with Leland.
no, he knows everything, and I learned so much from him. We've between us, I think we know 80% of the punk world, and that's pretty good. So we're getting bigger and better every day at everything. So somebody's like commenting on your Devo, so that's rad, Victor. So, and
Yes.
they did just announce the punk rock bowling as we were talking about. Let's be optimistic and please go get your shots so it can happen.
Excuse me.
And to answer a few questions already, we've already reached out to them. When it was going to happen last time, we were the official. It was going to be the Punk Rock Saves Lives nonprofit village. We were going to have like 6 nonprofits under a giant tent together, and all sorts of cool stuff. So yes, we are working on all that again. Hopefully, the wonderful people at PRB have us back, and we will do some good. And we will also have our shows at Hogs and Heifers like we've had for the last 6 years. So working on that. But wait, fun face-to-face fact. There we go. Face-to-face, How to Ruin Everything album was recorded live, not in front of an audience, but recording.
Nice.
That's pretty rad, and it takes a lot to do that. It's one take recording is tough. All right, Lynn, what has been blowing your mind up over the last few weeks, keeping you sane, and that could help some people down the road that they should check out?
It's so not punk rock, but whatever.
That is punk rock.
I'm telling you, I know these lyrics are cheesy as hell, but like RuPaul gets me through. I'm not even kidding.
I'm a
It's
Georgia
like-
boy. I understand.
Oh my God. I like.
RuPaul's punk as fuck too.
Yep.
Yes.
RuPaul was.
Yes, she is.
She was
Yes,
in a
she
punk
is.
band. She was in a
Yes.
punk band. And so.
And she's super tight with Henry Rollins, who, by the way,
Yeah.
also had a birthday recently.
Happy belated.
60th birthday. Henry Rollins is 60. And he looks
like he's 20.
Younger than me. Yeah. That man's awesome. So
Not fair.
Takes very good care of himself, that man. But yeah, no, yeah, it's just listening to it. It's just, I even, hang on 2 seconds.
we have a true
2
RuPaul
seconds.
friend.
Jenny got me this freaking book for Christmas.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
And it's just like photos and sayings and stuff like that. Like,
Oh,
amazing. I went through it in like a half hour, an hour, or some shit like that. But I'm telling, okay, if you listen, I get it. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. A band that I was introduced to by our friend, my partner, my husband, my dude, our friend Jesse, who, by the way, plays guitar for the band Ursula. If you haven't checked that band out yet, be prepared to have your mind explode.
There you go. Ursula.
Ursula. But I just discovered Tiny Moving Parts.
Dude, so good.
I can't even tell you how many times I've listened to the album Swell on like repeat and cry the entire time. I'm like, I totally get it.
They were my last official show before quarantine.
Oh my God.
They were with Belmont and a huge other like pop punk math rock groups, and it was phenomenal.
Holy shit. I'm
Bones,
like,
Betty Bones.
I hope I get to see that band play because like I think I've watched that music video to Caution.
Isn't that phenomenal?
Like unreal. I like that video. If you haven't seen it, if you're a musician that like still has a day job, you could pretty like anybody, or is like, you know, trying to make it as a musician but still has to work a day job or whatever, or like still has to make ends meet, but your real passion is to play in a band. That video is like the most relatable thing I have seen in a long time. I'm like, Oh, yeah.
Been there.
It's so good.
Uh,
Like, so if you, yeah, tiny moving parts. Holy shit! I hope I get to see. I hope I get to see them play.
You will. You will. We're keeping hope alive.
I threw Nick's comment up here about Light's little machines.
Oh,
I
yeah.
threw that up on purpose because I want to tell Nick and everybody in the world what an amazing person Lights is. She when
Like little machines. I'm putting that in my notes.
when I was with Love Hope Strength, and one of my little missions, and I did this on Warped Tour every day. If one of my volunteers, I would ask them when they got there each day what their favorite band was playing, and I would bring them, if I could, and put my volunteer on the side of the stage and leave. I don't know if you noticed that the whole tour, but I would try to just make their day and let them see it from a different perspective. But I used to take cancer patients, younger cancer patients, and try to help just give them something. And there was a young man named Austin here in the Denver area that we unfortunately did lose. But I asked his mom, and she asked him. I was like, "Who do you want to see?" And he was this diehard Rammstein fan and all this stuff. So I was expecting super hard and all this stuff. And all of a sudden, he's like, "Well, there's this artist I really love coming to Denver, and I would kill, and her name is Lights." And I was like, "Oh, let me check that out." I didn't know of Lights, and so I checked it out, and I was like, "This is not what I thought the kid would like at all," because I knew what he had played for me and stuff. But we got a hold of Lights management and the thing, and they were like over beyond welcome to have him not only at the show, but she took him backstage and spent 45 minutes just having an honest talk with him. I think they're married, but at least her child's father was with them. And not soon after that, they got pregnant, and we were celebrating Lights, but just an absolute amazing human. And at the end, when we went to leave, I wanted to just say, thank you for doing this for the kid. And she was like, she threw it back at me, and it was more like, no, thank you for doing this. And I'm like, it was weird. I think Austin made her night, and that was really, really cool. So I wanted to throw that. He made me think of that story, and that makes me, I'm tearing up thinking about it. I miss my buddy Austin every day. So Lights, if you like her music or don't like her music, she's a wonderful human. It doesn't matter. So check that out. It's really cool music too. So my picks of the week, I don't know if you can order it, but if you can, please check out a brewery in the Denver area called Lady Justice. And all of their beers are socially involved and raise money for different charities, and specifically they are completely woman owned and ran, which is really rad. And they're really cool people. It's only about a half mile from my house, and for my Valentine's Day present, Tina bought me their yearly membership, and we get two growlers. We get two growlers every other month from them of a specially brewed beer. And if you're a beer drinker, please check it out if you can. I think they can do some shipping. I'm not positive. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but please check out Lady Justice. And if you happen to travel to Denver, go see them. Incredible. It's actually Aurora, Colorado. But and then the other thing I want to point out is the hero of the world, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Dolly Parton.
Oh,
Love.
And this
have
is
y'all seen her documentary?
yes.
Not yet. I've been meaning to.
I am. A lot of you know I'm a Georgia, Tennessee boy. I grew up in the South. Most of my adult life was working in the Nashville scene before I moved to Denver to come to work in the nonprofit world. Dolly Parton, real deal. Always there. She does stuff behind the scenes. She doesn't try to get credit for it or anything. she didn't want the news broke that she donated almost $1 million of her own money for the Pfizer vaccine.
Moderna.
Or Moderna.
No, she
Moderna.
I got it backwards.
Yeah.
But she donated a ton of money to push that happening, guys.
Yeah.
Out of her, I mean, and she didn't publicize it. Someone broke it.
Mhm.
But an amazing, amazing person. And this is actually Kristen Bardman drew this or painted this. And
Wow.
Dylan Walsh, Irish artist that we tour with Flog and Molly with a lot. It's his partner, Kristen, his wife, and she does art. So look her up on, and actually she kind of, Dolly's people they weren't being malicious, but they did a cease and desist on this thing. But apparently Dolly found out and thought it was beautiful and told them to pull that away. So
Oh,
this
she is the patron saint of amazing.
and this is
Yeah.
back up on Etsy. You can get this. She's done some other amazing country artists too, so check that out. I'm sorry I don't have the exact link, but Dolly's a huge inspiration, and that's an amazing portrait of her. So check that out. So that's what's been pushing me, and Lynn, you don't know. I took a job driving a truck for 7-Up Dr. Pepper, and I'm working at 5 a.m. till I'm done. And it's kind of like being a roadie because I'm just driving a big truck around town delivering machines. So I'm unloading a big stack and putting a stack back on and stuff like that, just to get through this until we can tour again.
Yeah.
And so in that, I only have a radio in the truck. So you can only listen to the same classic rock stations or whatever you can find. So I do a lot. I've brought up NPR a couple of times, and it's because it keeps my mind going when I'm driving, even if it's something I don't understand or don't get. So check out, there's some shows right now that are trying to help you understand all that's going on in our world. So there's a good way to keep your mind going too. So
Yeah.
I've even gone as far as I don't, through this pandemic, we're not all making a lot of money, but I've at least I do $15 a month to Colorado Public Radio. So I feel like I'm paying for what I listen to. So
That's awesome.
Help that going if you can. Things like that are amazing. All right. The last thing I do every week, and this is just for Lynn.
Oh, shit.
It's really easy. Where would your life be today if you had not found punk rock?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't know. I think I'd be doing the same thing now, but not appreciating playing music as much, probably. Not appreciate, I'd still have a day job. I don't know what I would be doing exactly. Maybe I'd actually pursue a career in a specific field. Who knows? But I don't know, because I punk rock is what got me here.
Exactly.
So, and it's crazy because I was, I didn't actually get introduced to punk rock music till much later in my life. And so I never thought I would be this involved in it, to be honest. Who'd have thought? But God damn it, I'm fucking grateful for it, because that's a fucking hard ass question. I don't know I don't know where I would be. I think I'd probably be I'd figure out another way to perform.
There you go. That's a perfect.
If it wasn't do that.
I also want to say, I might get. Is it a light green or is it a light off blue? Your amazing bass.
It's a minty green.
Minty green.
A winter green. I have no idea. It's a nice sea green color. It's
Lynn's
not.
base. It's just Lynn's base color.
It was close to my hair color for a long time. I had that greenish hair. But I just love that color. And you know what? Thank God Reverend fucking makes that shit.
It's awesome. And one of my favorite moments, and I doubt you'll even remember this, I brought Tina, and my first date was the Cincinnati Warped Tour date, and I brought her backstage for you guys, and she was wearing this shiny skirt, and you came over to tell her how much she reminded you of Wonder Woman, and that was one of my favorite things in the world. So, and that was our first date.
Aw.
Nice.
I think I vaguely remember that.
So,
I remembered you saying this is our first date. I remembered the first time meeting Tina was at Warped Tour. I don't remember saying that. So thank you for reminding me of something nice I said.
and
I was like, oh.
her first time she ever was crowd surfed was at the very last Warped Tour in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Tina
Shoreline Amphitheater.
at Shoreline. Tina
Yeah.
crowd surfed to you guys, and it was the first time she had ever crowd surfed. So,
And when we played at what's that spot? Oh my God, Nick from Direct Hit owns it or runs it.
yeah, I love that.
Oh, in Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Retro.
something arcade.
Wrecking Room?
No, it's something
Or the arcade something?
I think it's like Retrocade. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
When we
By
came,
the way, rad fucking place.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Nick. Don't hate me. I'm sorry. But I remembered you guys came to that show and Tina had just gotten LASIK surgery
the day before.
the day before. I'm like, girl, what are you doing here?
I mean, how do you not, if you're in Chicago and her eyes felt good enough, how do you not drive to Milwaukee to see Bad Cop, War on Women, and I don't remember, there was a third band.
It was Walt Hamburg.
Walt, yes. I had not seen Walt before. I knew who he was, but I had not seen Walt.
What another wonderful human.
There we go. X-Ray Arcade.
X-Ray Arcade.
If I'm not mistaken,
X-Ray.
Julie,
Thank you.
were you at that
Thank
show?
you.
I think she was at that show. Julie, answer. I think you were at that show. So, but
I forgot. I was in. Oh, good.
it's a cool, very cool.
It's a fucking rad venue. I think I spent like most of my night just playing arcade games. I was like,
I know it's no big surprise, but I'm a pinball fanatic. So, anywhere that's got a couple of pinball machines, and I'm like, if you're on, when we get back to touring, if you're in, I knew Julie was at that show, so yes, she just answered. Yeah, we drove up for that, and Tina, the hardest part was I had to take her kind of off to the side of the stage because the lights were were hurting her eyes a little bit, but
they were very bright.
Yeah, but Nick from Direct Hit co-owns or owns the bar, and
he fully created it.
But if you love pinball, next time you play St. Louis, get someone to take you to the Silver Ballroom. It's a little bar owned by the old Schecter rep, Steve Doctranian. Everybody called him Doc. He was the Schecter rep for Warped Tour forever. And he opened a bar. He's Australian, and he opened a bar in St. Louis that has nothing but pinball machines, a dirty old kind of bar with just beer, and an old jukebox that plays nothing but punk rock. You got to go pick it, but there's some amazing punk rock on there. And here's the kicker: Australian meat pies. That's the whole bar, and it's incredible. So yeah, if you get a chance and you're in St. Louis, go to Silver Ballroom. It's incredible. So
I forgot the day Bad Cop was playing there. I was with John Ghazi in 350 Brewing, and they were playing with MXPX and Flatfoot 56, and he either called you or Stacy up because all he had was like a bag.
I think he probably called Stacy.
Okay, he had like a bag of clothes and his surfboards, and he was ready to just somehow Uber and get his way up to Milwaukee to see you guys. We were just spending the whole time drinking, talking about that. It just said that was the same day.
That's
Oh my God. Oh, John, congratulations on the new baby, dude.
yeah. John's one of our advisory board members too, and just
Ah,
the most amazing. John, I've said this on multiple occasions, and I do firmly.
Hey, I just gotta chime in real quick. I do have to get to my meeting, but I love you all.
okay. I love you too,
It was nice
Mackenzie.
meeting
Take
you.
care.
We're wrapping it up. Good night, Mackenzie. We love you.
Bye, guys.
Have a great night, girl.
Bye.
But I popped Lynn out for a second. Now you're back.
Sashay away.
But yeah, we'll wrap it up. But Lynn, we want to thank you so much, and
Thank you so much for having me.
you make us smile every time we see you, and every time we think about you. So, and
So energetic.
if you guys don't,
Hey,
if
a lot of coffee. No, I'm kidding.
if you've somehow missed them, guys, please go get everything you can from Bad Cop, Bad Cop. Order their merch, order their albums. You will not be disappointed. Get you that. If they still have it, get the donut sticker. I think our buddy Simeon's doing all of your merch now out of Stupid Rad. So
Yep. But also Enos at T-Mom Merch has a bunch of wonderful stuff in Europe with affordable shipping costs.
and I didn't say it earlier, but Tui, not Tui, Vi was on from Australia earlier, and she said try shipping to Australia. And believe it or not, we got about $150 order from Australia right before Christmas, and I shipped it all out. And yeah, it was like $70 to ship the stuff they ordered.
Yeah.
But I didn't question it. I sent it. We want people out there, so loving it. So every week we close it with letting you know that, guys, it's a tough time. We're starting to come out of it. Please keep your heads up, keep your mask on, be conscious and be courteous to others. Remember to, as you get back into this, the people serving you, the people selling your groceries, the people entertaining you are stressed out and worried about what's going on too. So don't take your stuff out on them. Be there. Tip if you can. I know we're all
with cash if you can too, because that way they don't have to report it to the IRS.
So just remember that stuff. A simple bit of kindness is punk as fuck. So please remember that, and it's really cool. They're out there stressing. Anybody in the service industry right now is stressing every day they go to work. So remember that too, if you can. And just remember, I tell people, do something simple, like yell over your gate to your neighbors just to check on them. Everybody's isolated. Even if it's 15 feet away from you, they're isolated too. A simple check-in is always a good thing too. We'll be working on a new guest for next week. Unfortunately, Carly someplace can't join us. We'll get her back. We'll do the body positivity in a coming episode. She had something pop up, and I'm going to work on a guest. The week after that will be the Badass Women of Punk with, thus far, Ruby Riott from WWE. Yeah, Lynn, go look her Instagram up when you get done.
Doing it now.
It's with 2 T's.
Doing it now.
She is so
Amazing.
badass. Yeah, and and Lynn,
Should she teach me moves? That would be so tight.
I'm sure
Maybe someday.
she would love it. I mean,
Ruby Riott with 2 T's, correct?
with 2 T's.
Correct.
On it. Yes.
And Nick's sort of blowing my surprise down there in the comments. Yes, in a few weeks. I'm not positive of the exact date, but a dream guest of mine, Scott Radinsky from Pulley, will be coming up, and I'm really stoked about it. So I was a fan of Pulley, but also of him as a baseball player because I was an old jock too. So
one thing I'd like to share before we go
yeah,
is
please.
that for any of our friends, anybody in your community that runs their own business, if you have a minute or two to spare in your day, please share their businesses at least. Let's try to help our friends, our companions that are running their own businesses. Send referrals if you can. Any way that we can. Sharing, commenting, liking, and flag, and whatever that little save flaggy thingy on the right is on Instagram. That shit all really helps. And let's try and be there for everybody.
That's a perfect one. So remember, if you're interested in Punk Rock Saves Lives merch, through this Sunday, now till Sunday, because I'm getting older, and if you use code ROBISOLD, it gets you 20% off anything in our store. That helps us keep our missions of health and wellness going strong. So please check that out. Other than that, I always say one love, up the punks. Good night, everyone.
Take care. Thank you so much.
Bye.